We're turning now to one of our top stories tonight, the controversy surrounding comments by Federal Natural Resources Minister Lisa Raitt and Transport Minister John Baird. I'm joined by our radio panel now. From west to east, we have Christy Clark of the Christy Clark Show on CKNW. She's joining us from Vancouver. Joining me from Calgary is Dave Rutherford. Hi there, good to see you. Of the Rutherford Show on Chorus Radio. And from Winnipeg, Charles Adler of Adler Online, also on Chorus Radio. Good evening to all of you. I want to cover a lot of territory here. Let's begin with a quick go around the table. Christy, I'll start with you. In a nutshell, what are your listeners saying about Lisa Raitt?
That she was indiscreet, that she said something dumb, that she should probably apologize, but resigning, for heaven's sakes, who among us hasn't said something disparaging about a colleague? And I can tell you, the thing is, having been in politics, having been in cabinet, people talk ambitiously about crisis issues that land on their desk all the time, and it's a lot to ask that someone resign because they just said something stupid in what they thought was a completely private conversation. Having said that, though, she should apologize, take it off the table, and I don't understand why the Prime Minister is being so pig-headed about even admitting that it was wrong.
Yeah, and I want to talk more about that. Dave, let's go to you. What are your listeners saying? Same thing? Should she apologize?
I guess apologize to who? Didn't she apologize to the health minister already or say something, I'm sorry your name came up? Listen, I think I'm on the wrong program, Marcia. I think there should be e-talk. Like this is like celebrity gossip. That's all this is. INSEE people talking about other co-workers. Like Christy said, you know, is this affecting the governance of Canada in any way? No. And apparently, I heard that there's 5 hours of tape or something people are going through. You know, the story here is Jasmine, the communications person,
McDonnell, yes,
who is either a total klutz or there's some other big conspiracy going on, which I doubt, and the Conservatives doubt too. They don't think there's anything going on. So this is a klutzy communications person who keeps losing things. You know, frankly, Marcia, it's a non-story.
Charles, what are your listeners saying?
Well, I think Jasmine keeps losing things, and they're very, very smart to have lost her, although Harper might have been smart to just cut Lisa Raitt loose. Nobody expected that to happen because, of course, she's a she, and she's a she in the greater Toronto area, and so that's terribly useful. Those are demographics that the Tories are lusting for. Having said that, when it comes to this private conversation, as Christy mentioned, all of us say things privately and use words privately that we wouldn't want to use publicly. As far as the sexiness is concerned, it's really hard to make the case that she's so strange, so bizarre, so perverse that she thinks cancer is sexy. The word sexy is used rather promiscuously by all of us. We could say amped up, jacked up, tarted up, whatever. And so, yeah, that particular issue, cancer, is so deadly. She could have said deadly, and she wouldn't be in this kind of hot water. But she used the word that's used a lot in journalism. It's a sexed up issue. Yeah.
Dave, go ahead.
What she means by sexy. She is charged up.
She is charged up. But doesn't it show an insensitivity to people that cancer patients?
No.
Why not?
Well, I mean, had nothing. Listen, talk about sensitivity to cancer. The Liberals are doing this big thing. The Liberals are doing all this isotope thing. They're dragging out cancer victims. Oh, they need isotopes. This evil government's keeping isotopes from these poor cancer patients. Come on, people. This is the same guys. The Liberal guys did not want to fire up this reactor 18 months ago. They said, don't do it. They weren't dragging out cancer victims then. Suddenly it's opportune. You guys, this is politics at its worst.
Christy?
And of course it was insensitive to say this. Of course it was insensitive. People who have cancer, they're waiting for isotopes. This hurts. It's like Jerry Ritz and his dumb comments about Maple Leaf Foods and the rest. I mean, it was insensitive. But you know what? She made the comments privately. Lots of us are insensitive when we talk about things privately. And the reality of politics is that you deal with crises every day. And those crises are opportunities, sadly. They are opportunities for ambitious people to get ahead. And I think that's what she was talking about. I would also say this. I don't think the Prime Minister should fire her. I think he's very smart not to.
At all.
Jean Chrétien made a career of not firing people when they were in trouble, because when you fire someone, you create just as many consequences as you do from keeping them. And frankly, she doesn't deserve to be fired.
Christy, can you imagine Can you imagine what a tape recorder would sound like? You got Michael Ignatieff talking about Stephane Dion. You got Paul Martin talking about Jean Chrétien. Can you imagine what those guys are saying? Come on,
Charles,
this is really nothing.
What I'm imagining tonight is what...
I want to ask you about John Baird and how this story... I've got only 30 seconds left, darn. What are your thoughts on John Baird? How is this different? How is this the same? And he apologized.
Well, John Baird is known as a volcanic personality. I don't think anyone involved in media or politics was surprised that John Baird said this, as people were surprised that he said it in that particular room. But he did the right thing. I mean, he cut this thing off right at its knees by saying, I'm sorry. And it's incredible how many people are disarmed rather quickly when you simply use those two little words, I'm sorry.
Good point.
John Baird is so used to saying dumb things that he's gotten used to apologizing, so he knows how to cut
but
and run.
He was also... But guys, he was in a room. He didn't even know there was reporters there. Come on, we're back to this sort of gotcha stuff, and that's all this is.
Dave Rutherford,
but when you
Christy
say
Clark,
something
Charles
dumb, you
Adler,
should apologize. I think that's the bottom line.
All right.
Oh, sorry, Marcia.
I wish we had more time. I'm sorry, too. Thank you so much, all of you, for being with us. Come back and we'll do it again. This has been fun. Appreciate your time.
Nice to
Good night.
Thanks very much.